Stress is the only and real cause of sickness. Genes, as scientists are finding out, have way less power than we think. It's not that they don't play a part, but you basically have the power to turn them on or off. Stress, on the other hand, impacts our health in ways you don't think of, such as increasing inflammation, aches and pains, autoimmune diseases, disrupting hormonal balance and production, weight gain, weakened immune system, and the list goes on and on and on. It's these hidden effects that lead to chronic illness, to fatigue, to mental health struggles. But we live in a culture where stress is not only normalized but expected. If someone's not stressed out these days, you're almost judging them for that. We always have an excuse as to why we're stressed and they're not. And if and when you finally break free from this hustle mentality, from this hustle culture, and you start focusing on you, everything will change for the better. So I want to share with you things that you need to know about stress and how to stop it from controlling your life and your health. First, let's talk about how stress actually impacts your body. Well, for one, stress raises cortisol, which leads to weight gain, especially around the belly. And furthermore, it disrupts all the hormones in our body. This is why oftentimes women in their even 30s and 40s are starting to complain of fatigue, feeling like they're dragging all the time, thinning hair, just not feeling like themselves, like the memory is off, they're not remembering things well, they have brain fog. All of these things are actually caused by stress. The second way it impacts your body is because stress weakens your immune system, which makes you prone to infections and illnesses. And also, when we're stressed, the last thing we want to do is cook at home when we're tired. So we order takeout, we eat out, we order food. None of these things that are healthy for us, because all that food is made on seed oils first and foremost, besides the salt, the sugar, and all the other colors and other ingredients that you shouldn't be eating. And then you get some sweets too, and it just starts being one thing after another. And the third way stress affects your body is it keeps you in fight or flight. And if you're in fight or flight for a short period of time and then you drop that and you're not stressed out anymore, that's fine. But when you're in fight or flight and you live in that condition, after a while, your body starts falling apart. We're designed for that short-term stress, but we're not designed to live in stress day in and day out. Now, there's also stressors that we're not addressing, such as polyester and microplastics that we are wearing, drinking out of. And then there's the chronic sleep deprivation, not enough rest, the lack of nutrients, the lack of minerals in water. All the things that are primal to us, we don't really do anymore. We hardly spend any time in nature, let alone touch nature with our bare hands and feet, which is what's necessary for us to stay grounded. But unless you're going to get a tent and live in the forest, it's nearly impossible to avoid all these stressors. This is why in this video, I want to address the stressors that you can actually do something about. Here's how stress takes over your mind. Chronic stress, like mentioned, releases cortisol. Cortisol over time damages your hippocampus, which is your brain center for learning and memory. This is why oftentimes people say that their memory is going bad, that they're having brain fog, that they can't really learn new things like they used to. And because of that, it makes it harder to stay focused, which social media doesn't help. And this is why it's harder to recall past memories. Now, prolonged stress can lead to structural changes of the brain. I need you to hear me on this, which makes it harder to recover that cognitive function. And another way that stress affects your mind is by disrupting the balance of key neurotransmitters, such as serotonin and dopamine, which are necessary for us to feel happy, to feel good. They're basically mood regulators. And a prolonged imbalance of those leads to the feeling of sadness, anxiety, depression, feeling blue, and lack of motivation. So if you're really not feeling motivated, if you're like, why am I not driven to do anything? It may be your serotonin and dopamine. And then that cycle traps people, which is like a catch-22, which makes it harder to manage those emotions and get up and do things. Here are a few everyday hidden stressors and triggers. One is overcommitment, feeling like you say yes to everything, feeling like you have to say yes to everything, that you have to do it all, and not saying enough no's, not taking time to say, hold on, let me think about that. Let me see if that fits my schedule. The second thing is our horrible, poor diet. where we're not getting nearly as many nutrients as we're supposed to get for proper bodily function. Processed sugar, processed foods, caffeine, they're all adding to stress. How much coffee are you drinking per day? Another hidden stressor is the digital overload. We get constant notifications and we're bombarded by social media. Turn off all the notifications on your phone and have it on silent all the time. Fourth hidden trigger would be lack of proper deep restorative sleep on a regular basis. There is no mental health without proper sleep. And another hidden one would be not taking time to do nothing, to just be, having a need to constantly fill the time. I even know people who will do things and then add them to their to-do list just to cross them off. Stop filling your time. You're a being, not a doing. Stop doing and learn to just be. And with that said, let's talk about ways you can break free. Let's talk about a few simple action steps you can take today. Let me first say that nothing changes until you change. Okay, that's really hard to get sometimes, but once you get it, it's kind of liberating because you know that all the responsibility is on you. Nothing will change until you change. Not until you change something. It's until you change. You change who you believe you are. You change what you think you can do. You change what you think and feel about yourself and about life. So here are a few things that you want to think about, commit to, and make non-negotiables. Pick one. You don't have to do them all. One would be practicing mindfulness, such as meditation or deep breathing or simply being present. So many times people are not present. They're in a conversation, but they're thinking about how to respond. They're responding to the phone that's beeping next to them, or they're running their to-do list in their mind when they're not actually focused on the now. When you're sitting down to eat, practice mindfulness, be present, enjoy the taste, connect, bond with people that are around you. In any given moment, you can practice being in that moment. Second thing would be regular exercise. We cannot avoid this one. This regulates cortisol and increases your endorphins, which make you feel good, make you feel high on life. But you don't have to complicate it. Start with 5 minutes a day. Literally 5 minutes a day. Start with 10 squats. Commit to doing that every day and do it every day. And then over time, you're going to change the frequency, duration, or intensity. And as you get high on those endorphins, you are going to want to do more. Then you can join the gym, go on a hike, or do something else. 3, make your sleep your priority. You want to create an amazing bedtime routine. Think about little things that you can add to your bedroom. Maybe you can add a dimmed light in there. Maybe you can add a diffuser with lavender or another calming essential oil. Maybe you can put stars on your ceiling and in your walls so that it's a different atmosphere. And then maybe you put some relaxing instrumental music on before bedtime. This will help reset your central nervous system. You will never sleep good if you go to bed stressed out, because it makes no sense for your body to be resting when there's a perceived danger nearby. Focus on you. Focus on your sleep and everything will change. Your mood is so much easier to change when you're sleeping. Number 4, focus on your gut health. 80 to 90% of serotonin is produced in your gut. There is no happiness with unhealthy gut. Focus on probiotics and prebiotics. Eat more fermented foods. Eat more fiber-rich foods such as chia seeds, psyllium husk, or flax seeds. Just add them to your foods. Fermented foods such as kimchi, kefir, kombucha, and so on. Those are also the foods that you want to eat on a regular basis. And if you opt in for a supplement, make sure it's a high-quality supplement. If you need a recommendation, I'll leave the link in the description to the one I use. And lastly, know that you are not alone. I'm here for you, and there are other people here for you as well. Whether you opt in for my coaching or membership, you have access to me and 20 years of experience when it comes to health and fitness. Myself or someone else like me can help you uncover these hidden triggers and build a sustainable stress management and stress reduction plan so you get to a point of no stress. Because you don't want to manage stress forever. You want to get rid of your stress. Because when your brain is used to some form of stress, it is going to find things to stress out about. This is why you want to lower it while upping the good things and eventually get to a point where you're hardly stressing at all. Remember, we can peak and then we need to drop that stress down. All of this is going to help liberate you in a long run so that you can feel good and live a truly healthy and happy life because you deserve to. And I'll see you next time.